Okay. I'm at 25, 24. Okay, bro. Yeah. I guess you're already streaming, right?
Yes, bro.
Yeah. Okay. Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes Srila Prabhupada. All goes to Guru and Gauranga. So I'm coming back after a long time, and please forgive me if I speak something immaturely or inappropriate for the related to subject matter. No, I have no qualification to speak on the subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Whatever I could speak is the mercy of Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. I seek blessings of all the Vaishnavas, dear Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada and our deities, Shri Gadadhar Chandra Bhagavan, so I can speak something which is beneficial for everyone. Okay, let's recite prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Rindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Recite Bhagavatam prayers. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naran Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistakim. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay. Today we are reading from Canto 2, Chapter 6, titled Purusha Sukta Confirmed, texts 24 and 25. Okay, let's recite verse. Teshu yajñasya pasava savanaspatayah kushaha idam cha deva yajanam kalascheru gunanvitaha. Synonyms. Teshu, in such sacrifices, yajñasya, of the sacrificial performance, pasavaha, the animals or the sacrificial ingredients, sa vanaspatyaha, along with flowers and leaves, kushaha, the straw, idam, all this, cha, as also, deva yajanam, the sacrificial altar, kalaha, the suitable time, cha, as also, uru, great, guna, gunanvitaha, qualified. Translation: for performing sacrificial ceremonies, one requires sacrificial ingredients such as flowers, leaves, and straw, along with the sacrificial altar and a suitable time, which is spring. Okay, next verse. Vastunyoshadayaha sneha rasaloha mudojalam rucho yajumshi samani chatuhrotram cha saptama. Synonyms: vastuni, utensils, osadyaha, grains, snehaha, clarified butter, rasaloham mridaha, honey, gold, and earth, jalam, water, richa, the Rigveda, yajushmi, the Yajurveda, samani, the Samaveda, chatuhotram, 4 persons conducting the performance, cha, all these, sattama, O most pious one. Translation: other requirements are utensils, grains, clarified butter, honey, gold, earth, water, the Rigveda, Yajurveda, and Samaveda, and 4 priests to perform the sacrifice. Purport by His Divine Grace by Charnavan Bhaktivedanta Swami, Sri Prabhupada Ki Jai. To perform a sacrifice successfully, at least 4 expert priests are needed. One who can offer hota, one who can chant udgata, one who can kindle a sacrificial fire without the aid of separate fire, advaryu, and one who can supervise, Brahma. Such sacrifices were conducted from the birth of Brahma, the first living creature, and were carried on till the reign of Maharaj Yudhishthira. But such expert Brahmana priests are very rare in this age of corruption and quarrel. And therefore, in the present age, only the yajna of chanting the holy name of the Lord is recommended. The scriptures enjoin Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama eva kevalam, kalau nasteva, nasteva, nasteva gatiranyataha. Okay. Since it's long time for me, so I just want to recollect what happened or summarize quickly, and then we'll discuss this verse. Okay, so I think this is still the continuation of the 5th verse, where Narada Muni asked those 6 questions to Brahma. Those questions are Yadrupam, what are the symptoms of the universe? Yadhistanam, what is its shelter? Yata Sristam, how is it created? Process of creation. Yat Samstam, how is it conserved, or in what it merges at destruction? Yat Param, what it depends on. Yacha, what is it composed of, ingredients. So like many of the questions were answered in the 5th chapter, and the 6th chapter, coming to the 6th chapter, Brahma is answering the last question, what is it composed of, basically the ingredients. And in detail from the texts 1 to 16, Brahma was comparing different limbs of Karpodaksai Vishnu to the universe. And from text 18 to 22, Brahma was comparing the spiritual world and the material world. Spiritual world is 3/4 of the universe, and material world is 1/4 of the universe. And material world is filled with Grahamedis and is maintained by Lord's energy, and Lord is aloof from it. And say it's similar the comparison was given was similar to sun. The energies of the Lord is similar to sun, which is Lord is compared to the sun, and his energies are like its rays and heat. So, and now this is the third section or second section, which is starting here, like where Brahma is substantiating whatever is explained in those earlier verses with his own experience and experience to show that the Lord is the cause of this universe. And in the text 23, Brahma says, like when he was born, just read the text. For performing, no, sorry, not this one. So when I was born from the abdominal lotus flower of the Lord, Mahavishnu, the great person, I had no ingredients for sacrificial performances except the bodily limbs of the great personality of Godhead. So Brahma is saying that when he was born, so nothing other than the bodily limbs of the Lord, nothing was available for him to perform the sacrificial performances. And then he was explaining what all ingredients is needed for the sacrificial performances. And in the future verses, he mentions like how he collected those ingredients for the sacrifice and how he performed. And in this context, like I was just thinking that sacrifice or yajna is coming through, and now so it thinks like what is yajna and why one has to perform yajna. So in that context, like if we look at the Bhagavad Gita verse 3.9, where Krishna says, again I'll read the translation and also maybe some parts of the purport. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction, and in that way, you will always remain free from bondage. And also in the synonyms, Prabhupada mentions like yajna arthat, done only for the sake of yajna or Vishnu. Means it's only for the Vishnu. And also in the purport, Prabhupada says like because the yajna is performed for the sake of for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu. So and he's saying like even following just Krishna consciousness, the devotees who are performing activities for the satisfaction of the Lord through the process of Krishna consciousness is also same as like performing elaborated sacrifices. And somewhere down the line, Prabhupada says like when someone is not doing so like for the satisfaction of Krishna or Vishnu, the work which is done, a good or evil, both will generate some reactions and it will be cause of the bondage. And also some in the down the line, Prabhupada says like, yeah, so Krishna consciousness is the best way to perform, and it needs to be performed under the guidance of a person who already aware of it. So and coming back to the text, the text 25 purport, also Prabhupada says that all these kind of yajnas were performed until the Maharaj Yudhishthira's reign. After that, like in this age of Kali, so we do not have any experts who can perform these yajnas. Especially, I felt like this one was very interesting. Like many Brahmanas can recite mantras. So, and even though they recite the mantras, most of the people might not understand what they're reciting until if they explain what the meaning of those mantras. Otherwise, like Sanskrit recitation and maybe very pleasing to the ears, but you might not understand exactly what it is. And the second one was, I do not think or believe any Brahmana is there in the Kali Yuga who can kindle the fire by chanting the mantras. So it's really not possible. And the best way is like, and in the purport proper mentions, is best yajna for the Kali Yuga is Harirnama, with that verse quoting from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Harirnama, Harirnama, Harirnama eva kevalam kalav nasteva nasteva gatiranyata. And also the same thing was actually 500 years ago. So Lord Chaitanya proved that by widely spreading Hare Krishna Mahamantra and liberating many people who just chanted Mahamantra, even like very sinful persons like Jaga and Madai were liberated just by giving them the Mahamantra. So yeah, with that I'll conclude. If you have any questions or comments, we can discuss further. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All words to Srila Prabhupada.
Krishna Prabhuji, please accept mine to all Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhuji, and nice to see you back after a very long time. So,
thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, thank you.
And then I had a observation. Srila Prabhupada says, like it all stopped, yagnas and other things were all stopped after King Yudhishthira's regime. But we know that, Parikshit Maharaj's son, also did a yagna, and even during Parikshit Maharaj's time, also there was the yagna, that is where we get the Srimad Bhagavatam. And then, the yagna that Janmejaya did is, he kills all the serpents in the world except the one, Taksha. So I just wanted you to elaborate on that.
So again, I don't have much knowledge on that part, Prabhuji, but this is just my understanding, speculation, because there are many things were mentioned, what all are needed for the performance of yajna, right? I don't know, like, yeah, for sure, like they did perform yajnas during that time too. So Prabhupada might be mentioning in the purport to say that, like, to that extent, and just for the benefit of the Lord. So Janmanjaya performed, but I don't think the reason behind that was for the performance, means for the satisfaction of the Lord. It was like just to take revenge on Takshkar, like that snakes. And I understand Parikshit Maharaj performed many yajnas, and I understand, like, when Bhagavatam spoke to Parikshit Maharaj, that time is considered as yajna, but I'm not sure, like, if they performed all these kind sacrifices and all that stuff that time. So yeah, this is what my limited understanding, Prabhu. Please forgive me if I spoke or if I did something incorrectly.
No, Prabhuji, you actually said the right, like that's what I was also thinking. If you look at Janmejaya and what he did, it was all in revenge and personal gain. Whereas whatever even Parikshit was doing, it was all for the Lord. But we can generally consider, it is still the after effects of King Yudhishthir's reign. So there was still some dharma and other things left. So yeah, I mean, you thank you, Prabhuji. You nicely explained.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu.
Krishna Prabhu, thank you
Krishna
for
Prabhu. Thank you.
taking this service and law. Yeah, there was a confusion, Prabhu. But yeah, my question
No.
is that about the yagnas, Prabhu. I mean, it says we need so many. There are so many requirements, right? And then Prabhupada says, I mean, what exactly he says? I mean, Maharaj Parikshit time, right? So, and up to the till reign of Maharaj Yudhishthira.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
So, but then still in this age also, I mean, people does some kind of sacrifices, including us. We do some sacrifices. I mean, on top of, in addition to Harinam Sankirtan. So, will there be any benefit or what? I mean, how do we? So, I mean, I
So,
think Vamshidhar Prabhu also has a question. So, I think he raised his hand. So, anyway.
oh. So, if I understand correctly, like most of the times, I'm just talking like all those other performances, like done by the people, those vratas and all that stuff. Most of the times, people perform for their own benefit, though they invoke the Lord for the satisfaction purpose, but for everything, still there is a little bit ulterior motive for personal gain. So obviously, we all know that, like, means depending, people does get material benefits out of it, but actually, yajna is meant for the satisfaction of the Lord. When someone performs really for that purpose, I guess, like, they would get some benefits of it. But the ideal and easiest way, and in order to perform those yajnas, still we need those qualified people to perform those yajnas. So they given that, like, someone has to kindle the fire just by chanting the mantras. And so even in the ISKCON, like the yajnas, whatever we perform, so even though the fire doesn't come by chanting the mantras, still the performance of yajna is for the satisfaction of the Lord and to bestow the activities whatever we are performing to be successful. So yeah, that's what. Again, please forgive me, Prabhu, I don't have too much knowledge on these things. Yeah, that's what my understanding.
So you said, I mean, yeah, if it is performed for the exclusively for the purpose of pleasing the Lord, it will have some benefit. You're saying, right?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yeah, and on
Means
top
like
of it, anyway, what we do is I add Harinam Sankirtan. I mean, of course, our main thing is I'm remembering what Prabhupada mentioned in when he was, I think, installing the Krishna Balaram deities, I think in Vrindavan,
yeah.
right? So they were doing all the yagnas and all, right? But then on top of it, parallelly, Harinam was going on. So this is our main thing. So I think just to please everybody and
yeah.
yes,
I
Prabhupada.
feel like for this age, like Harinam is more easier. It's simple to recite the mantras. You don't have to remember like that complex Sanskrit text to recite. And even we know many cases, like when someone recites those mantras a little bit incorrectly, the effects being reverse or negative effects of it. So yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble
Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhu. Aklashil Prabhupada. So Radha Bihari Prabhu was telling Maharaj Parikshit did yajna for Bhagavat. I was just, there's one part I want to ask. What was the yajna or Bhagavatam, something. Maybe I didn't catch it.
Hare Krishna.
Actually, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Prabhuji, what I was mentioning was at the end of his life when, Maharaj Parikshit gets cursed, what he does is goes to the banks of Ganga, and then he sits down, and then there is this huge gathering of the sages, and Srimad Bhagavatam is narrated to him. That is what I was mentioning, Prabhuji.
Oh, okay, but not really yajna.
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Right?
However we want to take.
Okay. No, I know because yajna means I was thinking because Janmejaya did this thing. Okay, you're referring to that. Okay, Prabhu.
But if you really want to look into Maharaja Parikshit, he conducted Ashwamedha Yagnas and other things, Prabhuji. He did do it. Yeah.
Okay, but not for the Bhagavatam. Okay, Prabhu. That's what I was thinking. What? Okay, Gadadhar Chandra Prabhu. It was so nice that you very nicely brought out the point, the purpose or the reality of yajna is, when it is focused on pleasing Krishna. And then you also said that you also read from Bhagavad Gita, if you don't do it, then there is a bondage.
Yes,
and then you also said that, in this age is Harinam Sankirtan. So I was only thinking still, it is not getting into the, skin or in getting into the nerves, what can we do like that? Not that faith, neither the faith nor the attraction is building up.
So it's like, I guess, like we just have to have the faith and belief. Like I was just listening to my Guru Maharaj's Chaitanya Leela, Madhya Leela. So in that, Maharaj was explaining about how Mukunda Datta was got mercy of Lord, right? So when I think I forgot the village name, where Lord was associating with all the devotees, and they were Lord was explaining all the devotees like who are there in their previous lives and all that stuff. And in the end, like Srivas Thakur asks Lord about Mukunda Datta, and Lord gets angry and says, "Oh, don't talk about Mukunda Datta. He'll never be able to see me until 10 million lives or something like that." And where Mukunda Datta is way away from the thing, he gets so ecstatic listening that, "Oh, I have opportunity to see the Lord after 10 million times." And immediately Lord asks to bring Mukunda Datta in close, and how he got the mercy and liberated. So I feel like I know, at least in my case, like I'm practicing. I'm doing things maybe most of the times in a mechanical way, and only we have to practice and keep in mind that at someday Lord's mercy might fall in. Like it's like a farmer keeps his farm ready before the rainy season, even though he doesn't know when the rain comes. So similarly, I guess we have to keep practicing and hope that someday that mercy fall in, and then we might get liberation. We don't know when it is, but I guess like that's what I feel. I hope I could give you some answer, but it might not be exactly what
Yes,
you're looking.
Prabhu. So I was scared you are going to tell me to be patient like Mukunda Datta then. But the example you gave, practice, continue practicing and get the farmland ready. When the moment comes, then, just blooms out.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah. Thank you,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Lakshmikant Prabhu, it's 8:01.
Thank you, Prabhu.
So, yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. So, Vancha Kalpatarupyascha Kripasindhapya Vachapatitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Wish you all a happy Krishna conscious day ahead.